What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ghost Rider 730, rocking out with my bro Hebot, the most powerful gamer. Well, today, guys, I got some nice gameplay for you on the background as y'all listen to me and Hebot talk to y'all and let y'all know our opinion on a lot of other topics that we got stirred up for y'all. Sorry, guys,
you can hear me, right?
Chance to do the show earlier in the week.
Yo, Ghost, you can hear me? All right.
You can hear me?
Yeah. I just wanted to, say what's up.
Yeah, I can hear you, but you can hear me?
And yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can hear you. Yo te oigo bien.
Yeah. Well, today, man, Sony lost a court case for I think 3.5 million, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Am I in there or what?
It's kind of crazy, bro. That's a lot of money. Yeah, you in here. I can hear you.
Yeah, it's like you're hearing me delayed, huh?
Yeah, it's like a delay, my brother.
Yeah, I can tell because you're answering me way later. Yeah, man.
I mic, so I'm trying it out.
But yeah, they. I mean, this is not the first time they've done stuff in the past. They gotten caught. This is a problem that Sony basically a problem that Sony has developed with their business practices and motto in their company for many years. But that's why I always say that when you hear them say anything, even when they're talking numbers, because they've got caught in the past lying about numbers, like sales and stuff like that. It's very hard to believe them or what they say because due to their history, right? So it's something to do with, I think, was people that had PSN or they were getting overcharged or something like that, and somehow they were trying to get reimbursed and they didn't want to, so they went to court and ended up losing the case. As far as I know, that's what it showed.
Yep, that's Sony for you though. You can hear me clearly now, right? I had to switch up. I gotta fix up that mic.
No, I can hear you clearly. It's just I think you hear me in a delay.
I just had to fix it up. I'll do that probably another time. But I just put on my headsets right now just to, get on with it. But yeah, man, Sony has been caught, like you said, in the past for lying and stuff like that a lot, and they've been doing a lot of shady stuff. A lot of times Sony has went down the line, and when they send you an update, it bricks your console, and at the end of the day, they said it clearly. You're gonna have to buy another console.
Yeah, I remember when they did that.
Yep.
I remember when they did that. Like I said, they do a lot of things, and that's why I said that right now. The whole thing about the PS5 and them trying to postpone the show because they're trying to be considerate to Black Lives Matter, right? And the situation, which, like I said before, in my video that I did, that if that was the case, then great. That's nice because at least they're being I salute them because they're being classy, right? Classy. They're doing it for a classy reason. But then at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, but wait, like right now, in the world being in all the turmoil that is in, a 1 hour digital show is something that is not going to be taken in an offensive manner because it's kind of basically to just give people an escape, right? to make them feel better and to have something to look forward to after all they see around them is all this negativity and all this grim news about people getting killed and people getting abused and protesters hurting people and people looting and doing all kinds of stuff, right? and,
Yeah.
and then and plus the coronavirus situation that still is not fixed because we don't have a cure yet, but yet and now more cases are going to start coming out that it's gotten worse because all these people are out here doing these protesting and a lot of them are not even uh, you know um, wearing masks, wearing gloves, and not protecting
They're
themselves.
not even doing that at all.
A lot of them, not some of them are, but some of them are not. A lot of them are not, and that's just going to be a cause and effect. It's going to create more coronavirus to come out because a lot of people may have it and not even know it. So, it's a shame, but I also said that in my video, for those who might not have seen it that don't follow my channel, that they could have done it in different ways. Like when they started the show, they could have said things like, took like 5-10 minutes just to dedicate it and in a black screen to Black Lives Matter, to George Floyd's family, and that, we gotta, you know, work together in the fight to make things better, and just showed their respects. And it still would have been as classy, it still would have been as effective, and people would have still, I think, would have appreciated it just as much as them postponing, but in some cases maybe even more because they also gave them the show. Because Sony fans have been yearning for something to see for a long time, especially when it comes to regards to the PS5. I mean, the console literally is about 5 months away, and they still only got a logo, what the controller looks like, not exactly how it feels or what it plays like, and then that's it. And then a tech demo of an engine that is going to be capable of running on basically all next gen systems, but that it was running specifically in that showpiece or showcase on the PlayStation 5 hardware, right? It's not even a game, it's just a demo. So, I could understand the frustrations from a lot of the fans that were mad because they were looking forward to it, even though a lot of them, oh, it's okay, we waited this long, we could wait a little longer. Yeah, that may be true, but I mean, you're 5 months away. You know what I mean? You guys have nothing to really be hype about other than what you already known for the last 3 or 4 years, which is Last of Us 2 and obviously Ghost of Tsushima, which is cool too. But
Which is PS4 games.
right, which has been PS4 games, and it's okay. Oh, excuse me. It's okay if they're excited for it, but you got to be real. Microsoft has given their fans a lot to talk about, and we haven't even seen the games yet. We don't even know the price yet. So I'm pretty sure they must feel left out in some way, shape, or form. Even though they might deny it, even though they might not admit it. Or admit to it. Even I, like, even being an Xbox fan, like, you look forward to it because it's always good and exciting to see what the competition is bringing to the next generation of consoles. Next generation gaming, when it starts, a new generation, is always like a big deal. It's always really exciting. But that's why I said that, because of things like this, like what they just had, that problem in the court, getting caught and losing and and doing grimy things,
Yeah.
is one of the big reasons why I don't believe that they canceled the show. I believe they did it because they were trying to give themselves more time, because they probably don't have a lot of AAA things to show. So they're going to rely more on the third parties and maybe indies. So they're trying to make sure that what they show from the AAA standpoint, whether it's a trailer or whether it's maybe a small gameplay clip, it's polished enough and in good enough condition that it'll show off what the console has to offer, or even just to be able to finalize what the console looks like the shell of the console, because they haven't even showed that.
Yeah.
So they probably haven't even determined what that looks like, right? To be
So,
honest, but
but
go
just
ahead.
to clarify, though, just to
Yeah,
clarify,
yeah.
so they won't think we fanboying, or a lot of companies, try to use this as, Black Lives Matter, a big deal to these big companies. You understand me? So
Hmm.
Sony just got a lot of big ups from the fans and all that, but we all know it's bullshit. Microsoft tried, a lot of other companies. You even have how you say it, CD Project, that also got they delayed Cyberpunk. You
Hmm.
know, they delayed
But
that until
mhm.
what? Cyberpunk 2027, the Night City Wire Cyberpunk 2027 live stream will now take place June 25th. So they
Mhm.
even deny how you say it, delayed that.
Right.
So you got a lot of
Which again, like I said, I think it's in good taste. It's in good taste if because they're trying to be with the people right now in a time of hurt and a time of so
yeah,
much anger and despair. But in the case of Sony, right, they announced the show, for example, right, and again, shout outs to Livewire when I was talking to 100 and him in a live stream that 100 did. He mentioned it, and I didn't even realize they announced the show 3 days after all the rioting and the protesting started, right?
oh,
So,
okay, I got you. I'm good. I got you.
which and then they even did a TV spot, which lets you know that they were going to go in. They didn't feel the necessary need of 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 intertwining a show online, right, digitally, when people are at home in the comfort of their home after a long day with what was going on in the world protesting during the day, right? So, the fact that they just out of nowhere just announced it, do a TV spot and everything, and then they go out of nowhere, oh no, 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 we're gonna postpone it because of Black Lives Matter, right? Gives
Yeah,
me the it kind of gives me the idea or gives me the feeling, right? That is just to give themselves more time while they're paying respects by saying why that they're not doing it because of that. You get what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
And the fact that they didn't say we'll announce it at a further day, and I think even to this point they haven't really said anything. So you know, I think it's open for interpretation. To be honest, it could be that they were being honest, but it could be very well be that they're just doing one of their favorite hokey doke moves, like they always do. That they're just using the situation for their advantage, like they did with Microsoft going first. Let's say, for example, as an example, for propaganda to give them the upper hand. You understand what I'm saying? Um, and I know a lot of people be like, "Oh, why are you trying to console?" I'm not console warring. I'm just explaining to you what I feel could be the true meaning behind their decision. The same way I've said, unless they're really being honest, then kudos to them and salute to them for being classy, because that is a classy thing to do. But again, this is not nothing new. They've got caught so many times. I could send you stuff that you could probably put up on that screen when they got caught lying about selling Michael Jackson's music without his permission, when they lied about resolution, when they lied about how many PlayStation moves have sold. A lot of things that they've gotten caught in the past.
but you know how it is with these fanboys out there, and other YouTubers. They're gonna say you lying. We fanboying over here on this side. You know how it is.
Right. Oh, that's why I always try to represent the truth
The
with
right way, right?
well, with the proof. That's why I try to do it.
Yep,
With the proof, I try to bring it up. Because that's the best way to fight any argument. They can't say you're lying if you're showing them the proof, right?
yep,
You know.
yeah. So Sony's always been getting caught a lot. It's the same company that said basically the PS3, had human cells in it or something like that. There was a lot of stuff that Sony was doing lying just basically through their teeth. But just saying, he bought, man. Like I had I think I did a show with it was not too long ago for George, and oh, who's this? I lost T bot.
I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
bot. I'm sorry about that, my
No, I'm here. I'm here. It was me.
yeah.
I asked you
Well,
that. You were saying
yeah.
that was the same
I
company
was
that
gonna
said that the
tell you, like,
PS3
basically, um,
this is the same company that said that the PS3.
yeah, yeah, like the same company that's always bull crapping and saying things. But I'm gonna be honest that like For me, I did a video with what's the brother's name? My boy Cyberwolf, and we spoke about what went down. If you want to give your little input, it's all right if you want to. Like a lot of people got to understand that yeah, black all lives matter, but Black lives matter though. You understand me? And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of hating been going on, but just for the brothers and sisters out there and everybody out there, God bless you all, man, and try to be safe. And all I'm saying is do the things the right way, man. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of things that's been going on, and I know I've seen a whole lot of things with these police doing OD stuff. But I don't know. It seems like they want a war or something, man. Like I can't
Mm-hmm.
quite understand how they getting caught red-handed, and I don't know why. It's like justice is not being served. These people are really doing this. It's something really big that they trying to do, and I think they trying to really push that martial law. But how you feel about that, bot? Like,
Well, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. But the thing is, yes, Black Lives Matter, and the reason why is because the it's being more it's being better documented, right?
yes,
Of the criminology or criminality that's going around against predominantly black people, right? Because there's more recordings, there's more documents on it. But in the reality of it is, if you look and if you come from like where we come from, right? The urban streets, the ghettos, the hoods, it's the minority in general. A lot of Hispanics, like Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, you know, uh, even Indians and things like that in my neighborhood. Like, if you're not white America, right? There's a lot of ways you get treated indiscriminately, right? And a lot of
yeah,
messed up shit and a lot of messed up things that happens. But at the same time, a lot of the stuff also gets provoked, antagonized by the perpetrators, the people that get pulled, that stop, right? Not saying that it's always like that, but a lot of times they'll show like what the cop is doing, but they won't show what escalated it to that situation, right?
yeah,
This with the George Floyd situation, um, it was different because they showed the whole video, and I bring this up, right, not to be, right, a judge, because I'm not God, I can't judge anyone, but I'll bring this up because I kind of feel, for example, that one of the reasons why they were aggressive, right, with George Floyd was because and I didn't even know this until recently. He had a criminal record. He's done some stuff that was not just a tap in the hand kind of stuff. He done some stuff that he was convicted of, and maybe when the cops put up his profile, because anytime you get pulled over, the first thing the cops do is in their car they have a computer and they put the name in after they ask you, and they put up profiles and they find out who you are. And if they see that you're a criminal, they are more aggressive. That's just because that's how they're trained, just in case. Because a lot of times when you're already a criminal, you'll act out like a criminal when you get, you know, pulled to the side or stopped by somebody like the authorities, like a police officer. In this case, George Floyd didn't do that, but they were probably aggressive because, like I said, they saw his criminal record pop up. And nobody deserves to be judged by
yeah,
that, but because it's there and it's part of our judicial system and the law, that's how they approach it. So it could be that there's just a lot of movement too, to try to get all of us against each other,
yeah. It's
to
strategy, man. You know
it's
how
just
it is.
it's hard to say. It's a lot of,
Divide and conquer, man.
yeah, there's a lot of things and plots and holes that are fishy and funny. Like some people talking about they seen bricks in the street, and then somebody recorded a cop vehicle with cops unloading in the back of their truck the bricks and placing them down, like it's almost planted there on purpose because
Yeah,
they know people are going to use it and get angry and then get antagonized and destroy stuff. As you've seen some guys that were dressed all in black and hoodies, and they actually were white people. You can see it clear as day that look like they might be undercover or working for
Yeah,
somebody, breaking stuff and looting to make it seem like it was the looters or the rioters themselves or the protesters, and it was really them making it look worse than what it is. So it's a lot of things that's going down that's fishy. But again, we can only go based on what we see and what we know individually as a people.
yeah. Well,
Um,
I'm gonna tell you
it,
this, Ebot.
mhm,
I'm gonna tell you like this. It was sad for what we seen, and he murdered that man cold bloodedly. And I'm gonna tell you
mhm.
like this, but also let's jump into this right now. Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Did you hear the rumor that Bloodborne is gonna make its way to PS5? What do you think about that? Because this is the thing. I'm a shining my opinion on this, and from what I've seen and experienced this generation. I see already
Mhm.
that these PlayStation fans don't want no backwards compatibility now. All of some they wanted it a couple of months ago. That was the talk of the town. They wanted the power, but since Microsoft got the power, now it's the SSD. But before that, it was the backwards compatibility. But now,
Mhm.
since Sony's talking about only backwards compat, maybe on the PS5, these PlayStation fanboys and everything's running with, you know, they don't need it, but they happy. And you know how it is that all of a sudden this rumor came up with Bloodborne. Bloodborne being
Mhm.
a PlayStation 5, going to the PlayStation 5. Now, I'm going to give you my honest opinion right now. For your PlayStation fans out there, all right. But for the fanboys and the Sony extremists and your ponies out there, or should we say donkeys, or however you want to say it, I'm going to be honest. I don't want to hear that. That ain't on the list. That's a PlayStation 4 game, bro. I ain't going through none of that and YouTube videos and other people trying to make fun or look at how this game look when it's a PlayStation 4 game. I don't care about remasters. That's just like backwards compat. You try to clown Microsoft for backwards compat, but Sony double dicking y'all. Excuse my French. They double dipping in y'all. They gave you a game like Bloodborne. It kind of was a little broken or whatever, but y'all want to go get crazy. If the game come out, you're gonna rebuy it again. And then the Sony PlayStation is going to come out of nowhere, add both sales from the PS4 and the PlayStation 5, and then you're going to throw numbers at us, sale numbers. I ain't trying to have that. So basically, when a new generation come, I want to see new exclusives. I don't want to talk about no Bloodborne or how it looks on the PS5. That's already done. We've been there, done that. I don't want to see no Last of Us 2 on there. If it comes out for the PS4, yeah, it might come out for the PS5, but as soon as it hits for the PS4, that's not your exclusive no more. That's a PlayStation 4 exclusive. I don't want to hear that. That's not on the list. I want to know new games. I want to see new games. I want to see these new IPs. That's what gaming is about. Y'all talking about y'all want to see new games. Yeah, Microsoft, we want to see new games too, but our console's been giving us, which I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, I just want to say, man, Bloodborne, yeah, the game looked alright, it was cool. But I don't want to see that in the PlayStation 5 because you're going to try to throw that on a list like you did with The Last of Us or Generation. You're just finally getting Last of Us 2 towards the end. I ain't trying to go through that again. But y'all putting these lists up with PS4, it was a PS3 game with The Last of Us, and now if it's rumored to get the Bloodborne, like, nah, that's not cool. Y'all gonna have to eat that L because it seems like PlayStation don't have nothing to really show y'all. But remaster games, that's why we used to laugh at y'all cornballs and say the remaster station 4. Like that's the name, the remaster station. That's what it is. And they're gonna double dick y'all. I mean, double dip in your pockets. Y'all need to stand up and tell Sony, nah, man, it is what it is, man. We want new games. We understand about God of War. We understand about certain games that you have that's gonna get sequels. We know that already. God of War is like on its 18th game, period, or 17th game. Part 2 is gonna come out, basically. So we don't want to hear that. Same way y'all got jokes on Gears. We want to know about the new IPs that Sony got cooked up. Go ahead, Hebot. Sorry about that, my brother.
Oh no, that's good. That's good that you let it out. I mean, it's a good thing. Well, look, the topic you're bringing up touches on a lot of things basically that basically contradicts everything that they've been touting and saying throughout the whole generation. The fact that they said they don't care about remasters, but they're willing to pay for them. That's one topic, right? When Microsoft has given us the freedom of not having to worry about going to go out and buy a remastered version of a game, right? All over again that we already own, but let us allowed us to play that version on the existing console, and then did the beautiful service, right, of letting us play the game enhanced, right? The games are enhanced. In other words, they have better frame rates, better
Yeah.
resolution, and things like that. Better loading time. Maybe not so much better detail, but you know, you know what I'm trying to say, right? But enough that there's enough there that is basically what you see in most remasters that Sony gives their fan base, right? Like Last of Us One, it was basically a resolution or the option of frame rate, meaning either you pick better resolution for sharper image, or you pick the better frame rate, right?
What's up, Rain?
And and that was and that was basically the and that has been basically the option they gave you, right? So when they say something like that, right? When they say, "Oh, we don't want remasters, but we don't want backwards compatible, but we're willing to pay for a remaster that's doing less, right? Less than a remaster's doing that they're paying for at
Yeah.
almost, because that's another thing. They're paying for it almost at a full price of the original admission. So they're buying the game for like 40, 50, cheapest maybe 35, 30. Babe, you cannot sit there with a straight face, the hot one and the cold one, babe, with a straight face and say, "Oh, we don't care about backwards compat," but yet you okay to pay $50 because that's what The Last of Us was, for the remaster of a game that you already played, just for either um, for the remaster of a game that only either gave you the option say,
Well, bot, you kind of went low, bot. It's like your voice. I can't hear you no more. Rain the G4, man. Sony wants to sell you the games twice. Yep,
right.
that's what they've been doing.
So that makes them look like hypocrites, right? That's like a hypocrisy.
Yeah, bot, your voice. You went like totally gone. It's like really low.
There we go.
Let me see if I can pick up your volume.
Go on now.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay, so it's like I was trying to say that.
We lost my brother. Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. Yeah, Rain, they double dipping, and it's been like that for a while.
I'm back.
Yep, yep.
Well,
Yes, sir.
that just shows the hypocrisy on their part, right? As PlayStation fans, they're being hypocrites, right?
Yep.
That's the first right L, if you will, that you would say that you would call them out in. Then the other thing is they were saying, this, the second thing I would say is they're like, "Oh no, it's going to be fantastic because now we're going to have um only games that are only going to be made for PS5, right?"
Yeah.
only made for PS5, right? Which I don't think it's a good thing because they have such a big install base for PS4 and people are going to want to protect their investment, right? But now they're saying, yeah, it's going to be great that only PS5 games, right? But yet they're saying now that it's a possibility that this Bloodborne 1 remaster is going to head over as a launch title for PS5 because for what I understand the game is supposedly been found in like one of those stores for PC like Steam
Yeah.
and it's to come to PC but then also I guess it's listed for a PS5 and you can't sit there talking about oh yeah we want new games can't wait to the PS5 because all the games going to be only for PS5 and yet you're starting off already with a new game and in reality it's not new. It's another remaster that they're adding 4K,
Yep.
that they're adding HDR, probably more than likely. That has better frame rate, right? Because the original one is terrible. Even on PC, it runs like crap because of the engine, I guess. I don't know, or the way it's optimized. And then also, with the possibility of maybe some new details or artwork, uh, you know, to that effect. Because don't get me wrong, Microsoft gave us remasters this generation. They gave us the Halo remaster, but the Master Chief remaster.
But that
But it
was
was
done
like,
from the ground up.
but it was done from scratch, right? It was
Hmm.
done from the ground up, and it almost looked and felt like a new game. And if the remaster's done that way, then I can justify going out and buying it again for a reasonable price, right? Because it almost looks and feels like a new game, right? Because it's utilizing the capabilities of the new hardware, which is great. Um, like in the case of like Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 3, right? Or Ratchet and Clank. But then again, Ratchet and Clank has been remastered for the PlayStation consoles numerous times. That was like the third version that they had, right? The third time they remastered it, part one. Even though it's a real remaster, compared to
Yeah.
the original. So Microsoft has done this too. They've been guilty of this too, but they did it from scratch, and they did it with a game that was really, really old, and it kind of makes sense. Kind of like Shadow Colossus. That's another one they did that really
Yep.
made sense. That made sense too because it was old for PS1 and PS2 rather. It didn't look very well, and it didn't hold up very well with today's standards. So they remade it to, take advantage of today's hardware. I don't mind it when it's that way,
Okay.
but
Since you,
for them to say, right? I'm sorry.
it's
So I
a-
was gonna say, for them to say that it's okay when it's just something simple like frame rate or loading or maybe higher resolution when Microsoft already said they're going to have that smart delivery where when you put the games, right, from every generation, it's going to do with the raw power of the console, it's going to automatically bring up resolution, frame rate. If games are 60 frames per second, it's going to go up to 120 in some cases. If the resolution is, you know, I don't know, 4K maybe on a 360 game,
yeah.
it might go as high as 8K on the X, right? Um, things like that. But it's doing it even with the HDR. Even if the game wasn't built with HDR, they're planning to give you the ability with the console to add HDR to games that were never built with it. You see what I'm trying to say?
Okay.
It's doing it all for free with smart delivery with the power of the console. So when you have a company like Microsoft, right, setting the standard for backwards compatibility in this level and this caliber, and then you see that these Sony dudes are trying to put a front like, oh, I don't care about paying for a remaster for Bloodborne. That also makes them look like hypocrites. You see what I'm saying? So that will be them taking an L number two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I am I surprised? Not really, because they did it. They did it in PS2. They did it in the PS3 era, PS4 era, and now they're going into PS5. But I said this, that they blew their load to look good and perception wise and in the media by showing all the games they had in the works and announcing them as PS4 games, right? Not cross generation. And then now they have to start a new generation, right? And more than likely, they're probably going to have just announcements of upcoming sequels, like things that we know, right? Like a God of War 2, that's obvious, or Spider-Man
That's
2, probably,
obvious.
or maybe
Spider-Man 2
even
development.
a Spider-Man 2 if they still have the deal because we don't know yet. Or even Horizon Zero Dawn 2, which is another obvious one, right? Um, you know, it's like you said, it was a new IP for the PS4, but what are they going to bring to the table new for this generation? And I think that's where they're kind of stuck probably because they don't have those things set in place yet, because they're either probably too early with their developers, and even if they're doing it with a third party or a new developer and they're early in the development, they probably don't have nothing ready to show. Um, and I think that's partially another reason why it was a wrong move for them to bring out their two heavy hitters that you have.
I think that was a big mistake for them to bring that out. They should have kept it as two PlayStation 5 launches. To be honest, they would have got
hmm
more of a
Well, I mean,
buzz.
they should have just let Ghost of Tsushima come out because it's more of a finished product and it doesn't have the backlash, right? Let's say that Last of Us has, and just let Last of Us try to carry the sales and launch of PS5 because whether we agree with it or not, that's their critical darling, right? The game. So
Yep.
we know that that's the game that is going to entice people to play it either on the new PS5 or even go out and buy a PS5 to play it on their new console, right? Especially if their motto is these games are going to be only for PS5, right? Which
Yeah.
I think it's just them trying to play that horse shit because Microsoft has said all your games you'll play them wherever you want to play them, and if you play them on the Series X, they'll play better than they did on the X. I think they're just trying to do it to make people think, oh, Microsoft's just going to give you the same games on all platforms. You don't really got to go out and buy a new console. When you already seen that's not true because games like Medium, for a fact that they said, and games like Scorn are built and being built only to play on the Series X because the way they want to do it with the details, the special effects, and the technology, it's not going to be capable even on this Xbox X right now, the way it is, which
Um,
is a good thing, I think. Go
all
ahead.
right. All right. But I'm gonna touch up on two things you had said, and what I didn't like is when Shadow of the Colossus came out, and that
hmm
game they actually made it look better. Now it gotten the same score like it had when it dropped. Now when Microsoft touched it from the ground up on Gears of War Ultimate Edition from Gears of War One, it got a lower score. I couldn't believe that. Too much A button. Like this is the thing why I say it wasn't fair for Microsoft compared to PlayStation. Like, come on, really too much A
hmm
button. The Ultimate Edition looks way better than the regular one, and they got the nerve to say that. But Shadow of the Colossus, they said, "Wow, it gets the same score or a higher score." Like Gears couldn't get that. That's for one. Another thing, I
hmm
have two comments right now. One from Sega Man. Sega Man
hmm
said, "What's up, Ghost? If Sony really wanted to, they can do back compat, but they don't want to. I just want to keep getting cash grab, but making these remasters. Yeah, they do want to make cash grabs, and PlayStation fanboys just soak it up and eat it up because, like, let's be honest, this generation, that's all they had in the beginning was like remasters and a little touch of a little sprinkle of a IP, but nothing really, just indies. Now, I just want to say that for the we're gonna keep it real. Like they're gonna say we fanboying over here, but it's not. Like I've been there in the trenches and I've been taking grenades. Also, what
hmm
Sony is
hmm
doing, this is Rain. What Sony is doing is telling gamers that the PS4 can't run the games that's on the PS5, saying that having games running on both the PS4 and PS5 holds the PS5 back. That's smoke screen. Man, I tell you this. Speaking of the devil, bro, I don't get it. When I buy a console, I
Wait,
want to
wait.
get
They were
both.
saying
Yeah,
some of the
I put
Sony
it back
fans are
up.
saying
I put it back up.
they're trying to say that the PS5 games are only going to be made for PS5 because
Yes,
the PS4 games will hold it back.
we'll
That's
hold
what
it
they're
back.
saying.
Yes,
Who said that?
that's
Oh, Jesus
fanboyism.
Christ!
That's straight. That there's people that talk like that though. They saying that they want the new PS5 games. They want to utilize. Sony is so much utilizing that console that any PS4 game will be holding it back. Like Microsoft is dumb for doing backwards compat. See, this is why I had my. Might as well get into it. This other topic is since we're speaking about Sony's, we might as well talk about this. Xbox Series X will have back compatible games going back to Xbox One, 360, and OG games. That
Yeah,
is
but
three generations of games that
but
Microsoft is doing, and not only Hebot, they are going to be better utilized. That means this, if it was 30 frames, it's going to be doing like 40 to 60 frames on certain games. Better frame rates, the graphics is going to look way better. That's a lot to think about. And you again, look at that the diversity there. They got massive stuff, games backwards compat that you can enjoy in your library. Who wouldn't want to take the expensive games that you have bought? It's a lot of money, thousands of dollars that you spend, and you can enjoy and play it on your next gen console and get the newer games coming out that's going to utilize the power of the Series X. You
right.
can't beat that, my brother. That's a bang for your buck. Now with these fanboys and are bugging out is PlayStation 5, this and that. Oh man, back on PS4 games, we getting PS4 games, thousands of games and 4,000 games and 1,000, 3,000 games. Come on, man, blow it out your ass, bro. Microsoft is the one that's really trying to do that. Sony this generation said that
Well, that's
they took
another
their hat off
thing.
to
That's
Microsoft.
another
You know
thing.
that, right? For doing
That's another.
bad.
That's another thing. If they're saying that's going to have 4,000 games at launch, then that has to mean that it's going to have the capability of playing games that came out this generation,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that completely like throw debunks what they were saying of PS5 games is going to be only for PS5. They're just really trying to say the PS5 is going to have exclusive only playable on PS5, but they're trying to word it in a way where it makes it look like they're only doing exclusive games for PS5 in with the intentions of it being only on PS5. You know what I'm trying to say?
That's what they
Kind
doing.
of like I said,
That's the word out there.
it's just to kind of shit on the idea of Microsoft's back compat and
Uh-huh.
smart delivery. But see, okay, first of all, can I go or you finish? No, you
Nah,
finish
I'm
and then
done.
I'll go.
I'm done, my brother. You can take over.
All right, all right.
Got you.
First of all, to Sega Man, what's up, my brother? You better get your buttons in this podcast soon. Fix your computer, figure it out. Call me something because I've been told you we wanted you on the show.
That would be
Rain,
nice if he come in right now.
Rain, you too. Get your ass act together so you can join us too one of these days because you part of the family as well. You always here supporting us. Get your shit straight because we want you on the show. Thank you for stopping by, fellas. In such trying times, we trying to do a little show, not to disrespect what's going on, but to give you guys a sense of freedom and escape because all we keep hearing is nothing but bad, negative, sad news. Every hour, every 15 minutes, whether it's on social, whether it's on TV, and things of that nature. Now that I greeted my brothers with love, to get into what I was trying to tell you, that noise is basically to try to debunk or try to kind of kill the hype of Microsoft's approach with the Xbox One, with the Series X, right, and the smart delivery capabilities, and things like that. But at the same time, you gotta remember, Ghost. You gotta remember, right? Because me and you, we're not stupid. We weren't born last week, 2 days ago, yesterday. You know what I mean? They're gonna do this
Word, we wonder.
because because they don't have it, right? But Microsoft already was very clear, right? As Rain, and I'm pretty sure Sega Man, brother Sega Man knows, they said that the whole backwards compat thing has nothing to do with Xbox Series X games. It's just one of the features of many that they're trying to implement to keep the gamers satisfied, to make them feel that their purchases were not in vain, right? That they're going to stay with you, that they're going to be preserved, and they're not going to have to worry about if they're, stay keeping stacked up all the consoles and connecting all the consoles on the TV and have it all cumbersome and all clunky and stuff. Sega Man knows this very, 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 very well. He has to keep storing his consoles away and putting them up just like me because you don't have enough ports or enough space to have them all connected. Would we like to have it like that? Yeah, of course. And some people do. In my case, I don't because I have figures, collectibles, games, you know what I'm saying? Die-cast cars, statues, my wife's stuff, my kids' stuff, it's a bunch of shit. So you can't keep it all outside, right, in display. So having the ability to have one console that lets you play all your other generations of that same brand and console on one console, that's beautiful.
Hell
That's
yeah.
a beautiful thing. That's just an option to make you feel happy as a customer, and that make you feel that, hey, listen, we're gonna help you keep your purchase preserved, right? You don't have to feel like you purchased something and you have to go back out and buy it again, the way that Nintendo does, and the way that if this Bloodborne remaster is real for PS5 is doing to you too, because they're doing it to you too if that's the case, right?
They ain't catching on to that. They idiots, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So to keep it moving right in the conversation, um, they already made it very clear that the backwards compat has nothing to do with the actual releases of games on the console and what are they doing with the console moving forward. That's just an option and a feature that they're letting you know up front. Listen, you're gonna be able to do this, and we heard you. It's gonna continue the way we did with Xbox One. I mean, the Xbox One exclusives, did that get hurt? Gears 5 get hurt because backwards compat with OG and because of backwards compat with 360? Let me know, Ghost. Did it hurt Gears 5
No,
and how it looked or
nope.
how it played? Of course not, because it's two different
I'm
entities, two
playing
different
Gears
things.
5 right now in the background.
Right. It's two different things, and so it's the same logic, right? It's just they want to fit, they wanted to fit their narrative to make it look like, oh, Microsoft's already fucking up. Oh man, it's my Sony is doing it right. It's just the same dumb shit, right? But we're smarter than that.
Hey,
So we don't,
boo-boo.
right? We don't play into that stupid stuff. We're smarter than that, right? So anyway, so no, it's not going to affect. Absolutely not. That's just whoever believes that. I'm sorry, but you're dumb. You really are dumb if you believe that. And again, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but if you want to act dumb, you're gonna be treated like a dummy. You know what I'm trying to say?
There's a lot of fanboys out there, bro. There's dummies. I mean, let's not say like that, but they're
But you know what I mean.
you know,
So,
they one bird over that cuckoo. Just put it that way.
mhm. So like I said, no, I don't think it'll affect it in any way, shape, or form. I think I really think that people will be happy with the feature, and they're going to be happy with the outcome of what we're going to get on the Xbox Series X with the games and the libraries. I really do. That I really, really do believe that. Because Microsoft already proved it this generation with the backwards compatible, you know, program on the Xbox One. They proved that. You know what I mean? So, if it makes them sleep better, hey, listen, then believe what you want to believe. Yep, you're right. It's going to mess up and hold back the Xbox Series X. You're absolutely right. It's gonna hold it back if it makes you sleep better. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to tell you. I just, you guys
That's
should be
that's how
ashamed
they
of
are,
yourself
my brother. They ashamed. Yeah, they not ashamed.
because,
They really
but I'm
believe
saying
it.
they should because they should know that they already proved that that's not true. You know what I mean? Microsoft already proved that that's not true.
But you know how it is. A lot of these Sony dudes don't even try to look up stuff or something like that. They just run with whatever somebody says instead of doing the how you say it, doing their own research and stuff like that.
Oh, you get
I mean, I don't mean to say it like that, but a lot of them do that. But
right, right,
you should
right.
know that
Trying
already because you smash them on Twitter all the time. Like it's
to.
crazy. Like I just
Well,
laugh because for what it is, like, come on, bro. Like, how do you have backwards compat with the OG 360 and Xbox One games a bad thing, and it's gonna hold back them utilizing the power of the X on their exclusive games. Like I really don't understand that. Like Sony's gonna do the same thing. Like if they're giving you backwards compat on PS4 games, well, they're gonna utilize that, right, and make those PS4 games look better. They're gonna utilize the power on their console. So I don't know why would they just be like, oh no, it's a bad thing. I think they're just jealous that Sony's not really putting effort into doing backwards compatibility. That's what it is. Because as you can see, like 3 to 4 months ago, they was excited for this.
right,
They
right,
went
right.
against their whole narrative. Oh, backwards compatibility is nothing. You had these fanboys, also YouTubers, talking about backwards compat. So I just say there's a lot of phony people out there, and there's a lot of liars out there because Sony was really these fanboys was really hyped for backwards compatibility. That's what makes me laugh. And Microsoft gave us that, if I'm not mistaken, a while back. Yoshida and Sony gave Microsoft props on how they utilized that to get it to go back to the
Yeah,
360.
yeah. They said it. They
That was
even said it.
props to Microsoft.
They even said it was a hard thing to do.
Yep,
They admitted that. They said that shit was hard to
it
do.
was hard. So it shows you that
Hmm.
Microsoft got gaming developers and the technicians on their console. See, when I look at the shout outs to Showstopper for this too, but probably he didn't know at the time and he just hit the nail in the coffin. They call it the Xbox One because it does it all in one. It's all
Right.
consoles in one. That's how I realized what it is. It's the OG and they had the 360. They already had that in mind when they was building that console.
Well, that was the idea of it, right? Hmm.
It seems like it, bro, because you can play OG games and 360 games right now. That's what's dope about the Xbox console. Now, also, but just want to touch up. We all know the rumor of Sony getting because that was out already. We haven't been on, so I just want to say the rumor for Sony buying Sega was false. That was just a rumor,
Hmm. Hmm.
and there was a rumor that Microsoft was also rumored to buy Sega. You got anything to say about that? Think it's false or what, my brother?
Well, there's still something going on from an insider. What they're trying to say is, I think they debunked that Sony was buying them. But what they're trying to say with as far as Microsoft is that they're trying to make a partnership where they can release uh the Xbox One X or Series X rather in Japan under the moniker of Sega. Like it's a Sega and Microsoft uh console, right? Together. And I think it's with the idea of since Sega's still well loved in a lot of places in Japan, or by a lot of people in Japan, to kind of make the console more attractive, right? In Japan, the Xbox Series X,
Yeah.
and even that it would possibly have that it would possibly even have the Sega logo on the console, like the Sega Xbox Series X or something like that.
Well, that sounds
And
cool, bro.
and what I believe is if And again, this is just a rumor from an insider. It's
Rumor,
not
right?
true. It's, nobody said it's true. This is
Yeah.
what an
Oh yeah,
insider said.
clarify that, Eva. We're not
This is
saying
what
it's true.
right. It's what an insider said they heard, and that if I think that if this is true, what they're probably going to end up doing is there's a lot of Sega games that come out, like RPGs, especially. Excuse me, I'm having a little bit of tea for my voice. That basically never come out right in the states in on Xbox. They usually just come out on PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
And they, like Valkyrian Chronicles is one of them that I can think of. Even though one of them made its way to Xbox, but there's like four of them, and only one of them came to Xbox. They're probably, if they did this, is probably with the idea of bringing out specific Sega titles that are only popular in Japan, that you could play only on the Xbox One X as exclusives on
Hmm.
the Series X. Um, if this partnership or deal is true, that's the only way I would see it making any kind of sense and not really being a waste of time. Um, and so I don't know. I think, right? I think that it's possible that if this happens, it would be for that reason. Now, um, is it true? Probably not. I'm gonna be honest with you because Sega is just, they're not the same Sega anymore, and we can talk about the the announcement they did, which Sega Man did a video about it today, and I was laughing hard because since I heard about it because I couldn't believe it. Of Sega's just not Sega anymore. Sega is a shadow
Of itself.
of their former self,
It
right?
changed.
That is just not Sega anymore. Not the Sega of my generation. No way, Jose. Not even in a quadrillion years. No, it's not Sega.
So you're trying to say
Eh,
it's over for Sega?
no, no, because they still lease out their games with certain properties with certain people, and that's working out for them. And in a lot of ways, it's working out for them because they just did it with Streets of Rage and with Crimson Dragon, and you see that it turned out to be uh, successful to them. They did it with Wonder Boy Monster Trap. They've done it with certain titles, and it's worked in their favor. Leasing out more Americanized style titles or that resonate more with the American market. And you know what I'm trying to say, Ghost? I don't know if you know what I mean, but and it's worked out in their favor. But
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I'm just, I mean, it's some popcorn, my brother.
yeah, so eh, it could be true. It could be true, but I feel it's not because it's not the same Sega anymore. Now, what I was going to say to the other statement is, you see that just they just released what they announced was that they're releasing a Sega Game Gear, right? Which was their handheld game, right, from back in the day, and it's like microscopic. It's like the size of a keychain, right? Something that you put on a keychain, right? And and it's what you call it? It's like 1 inch screen and shit, and it has only like four games, and each one there's four different colors, and they're $50 a piece.
Whoa.
And I'm like, what in the world of Jesus Christmas is this? You know what I mean? So it kind of threw me off because I saw Sega Man's video earlier today, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. I think they should have did like an actual Game Gear, like the size of like maybe a Vita, or maybe even the size of the Switch, but a little bit more comfortable to hold,
Yeah.
and basically brought it out, like, with all the games pre-installed and an HDMI out, so that you could play it on your TV, and you just play it portable, or you could play it on your TV, where you could dock it, kind of with the same idea, but with their Game Gear console, right? Because a lot of their Game Gear games were unique to the console and were never out in the nowhere else other than the portable. You understand? And sell it for like $100, sell it like $100, $80, even $60. And I think it would have sold like hotcakes. People would have gravitated, especially people like me and Sega Man, or even Sega Forever, that we enjoy that nostalgic stuff. You know what I mean? Um, because it's a nostalgia thing. That's basically what it is. And there's room
Think
in the
it's gonna
market.
sell though?
What, the new one? I don't
Honest,
know. Honestly, Ghost, for the price and the fact that it's so small, and the fact that it has only 4 games, I don't know if it's gonna sell. I don't think it is, honestly. If it was $20 each one, or $15,
yeah.
then it definitely will sell, because people will buy it just for nostalgia. I would buy them. I'll buy all 4 just to have them, just because it's nostalgia, right? But to sit there and say, oh yeah, it's gonna sell, I'll be lying to you, Ghost, if I said that. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. That's what it's about, man. Being honest, man. And I feel like what they did, I think they if they was to partner with Microsoft, they should have went just all out. I'm just saying, if like that is a rumor, you know what I mean. But for
Yeah,
that man,
yeah.
they should have
I
went
know
all
what
out.
you're saying.
Like, look, so PlayStation came out with one, Nintendo came out with one, and it sold very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
And Sega's a classic, bro. That's old school. They older than they
Yeah,
own it. They older than Sony. They rivaling
yeah,
Nintendo. Honest
yeah,
truth.
yeah.
That's
Well,
Nintendo
Sega was actually
back in
before
the day.
Sega was actually before Nintendo
Yeah, that's
in
what
In Japan. To be honest with you.
but check this out, but that's the rivalry right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we got Sony and Xbox right now, that was the 1-2 punch right there.
In the mini market, right?
Yeah,
Well, look. To be honest with you, Ghost, you may not be
I would
familiar
have
with it,
bought
but
that. I ain't gonna lie.
you you may not be familiar with it. But to be honest with you, most people in Sega Man, I don't know if he's in the comment yet. Still, Sega Man, if you're there, please say something so I can know that you're there. Because I don't see you. I can't see you on my end. Um,
I, if he's there, oh, what's up, 108?
Hey,
Thank
108, what's going on, puppy? So, if to be honest with you, if a lot of people are like, oh, I want to have like a Dreamcast Mini, which don't get me wrong, I do. I would like one myself.
See, that'll be
But
dope, huh?
what they should have done, is they should have done a Saturn Mini first, because the Saturn was such a underrated console, so good of a console with so many amazing games, that a lot of people just simply ignored. They didn't play it because they were in the hype of the PlayStation 1, and just completely it got overshadowed. They didn't really take a look at it. And I think that because of the hype and nostalgia of right now going on with the mini for the Super NES and the regular NES, and then obviously the Genesis, they probably would have had a better um like a better pitch sale of introducing or trying to sell a Sega Saturn Mini with, like, let's say 80 or even all the games, because they had a lot of games, but it wasn't a lot because they had to stop. Well, at least here in America, they had to stop making games for it because it wasn't selling. So they lost a lot of the deals. That was one of the reasons why Tomb Raider and Resident Evil 1 ended up on PS1 before it, because Sony bought them out in a deal with Eidos. And then later the Saturn versions came out that were originally the first versions. So um, I think that would have been a better announcement for them as a company. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, they're coming back in the console space. Like, that wouldn't be a good idea, because right now the other players are just too far ahead of them. Nintendo, Xbox, even PlayStation, they're just too ahead of them for them to even try to tackle the idea of coming back into the console market. You know what I mean? Because most kids today don't know what Sega of us when we grew up is. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how big of a deal they were. Sega is the reason
Sega was a
for
big.
like, well, Sega is the reason for like maybe 85, 90% of all the things you see in games today. And they did it way back when, revolutionizing gaming, and a lot of people don't, these young kids, they're not going to realize that. They're not going to understand that. So it's hard to say, hey, Sega's making a new console. You know what I'm trying to say, Ghost?
Yep.
I just think it would be a very, very difficult sales pitch
Sega
for
man.
kids. Oh yeah, he is? Okay.
He said, I'm hearing my brother, so that means he can hear you. But
Yes, nice. So Sega Man, he probably agree with me, or maybe he won't, but I think he will. That it would probably be a better pitch sale for them if they would have announced, a Sega Saturn Mini or Game Gear that had all the games installed, that was the size, like I said, of a Switch or of a Vita, and sell it for like $80. Because people didn't play Game Gear either. Game Gear didn't do as well for them either, and it had a lot of nice exclusive games, that you could only play there as well, that a lot of people never got a chance to play. So I don't know. That's how I feel, But they're just. Ooh. I hope it's a nice deal of games, maybe that they're doing with Sega, like old IPs that they're going to bring back. That would be a nice announcement.
you seen what they did with Streets of Rage, right?
Yeah,
It'll
absolutely.
be like that, which to me, but I feel if they could take certain games and just take that game and gut it out and restore, like put it in graphics, like let's just say like a Rise on the Rome, or maybe a God of War aspect to certain type of games. You understand? Like
Like Golden Axe,
Oh my God, Golden Axe.
like Golden Axe, like in a God of War style.
Golden Axe. I like Dark Elves, but when you really look at Golden Axe and all that with the warrior, the dwarf, when you look at him, when all that was a Golden Axe. When I look at all these things, I'm like, yo, wow, Golden Axe is like you could say like one of the founders, or one of the old school ones of these type of games. They got stuff like that with the Viking, you know what I mean, with the sword and all that. You running around, even though he had little underwears back in the days in blue, but at the end of the day,
he had they had another game that came out on 360 that a lot of people didn't play, that I think was done by Creative Assembly, as a matter of fact, called Vikings. And it had an open world style to it, and it was open world maps. And that game was fucking fire. And a lot of people didn't play it. Didn't even know what it was. I think I sent a copy of it to my brother, Sega Man, not too long ago.
yeah. But yeah, man.
Did you ever play that one?
Vikings, I think I got it, played a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, I think I played that game. It was for the 360.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I played a little bit, but I didn't finish it. I didn't really get too much into it like that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was actually, me and my wife was like together, that, like
from the beginning.
Yeah, like it was in the beginning, like
beginning stages.
Beginning stages.
I got you.
But I know what game you're definitely talking about, and you know what? But you know what game was fire, and it came out. It was like, I forgot the name of it, but it was like in a lore of it was like some warrior type. It looked like it was similar to like a God of War before, like, I don't know, God of War is before, or that one came out. I forgot the name of it. Like it had like deer heads and shit like that, like horns, and it was like very dynamic type game.
Oh, you talking about Dante's Inferno?
Not Dante's Inferno. Dang, I forgot the name of that game. It's like it's hard to explain it. When I show you,
take your time. Take your time.
You're gonna be like, yo, I know what game you're talking about, Ghost. It was like, man. It was
on 360?
It had to be on a 360 or one of those. It was like it was like a Viking game, man. It was like it, but like a dark game. Like you fighting like
Hunted?
I don't know if it was Hunted. It was like some how you say, you know how those rock and roll people are? Gothic. It was like a Gothic type game.
Yeah, Dante's Inferno is the only one I can think of. He was a
Oh,
Templar.
what was the name of that freaking game, man? Now I gotta show it to you. I gotta look for this game.
Mm, mm.
That's
You
definitely
said I
not,
got
right now. That's what's happening to me. I can't remember it.
you silly.
It happened to me.
You,
Yeah, I got caught, my brother.
you win. Uh,
I got stomped out, my brother. But yeah, well, I forgot Overlord. I think it is Overlord. I think it is. I think Rain G got it right. It's like a gothic type game, bro. Like, and
mhm.
that game you can see a lot of elements in
Yeah, they got an arcade one version too. They got a one for the 360, and there was one that was on the 360 arcade market.
I think so. Yeah.
Overlord,
If
where you
I,
can control little orcs too.
mm, it was. Oh my god. When I dang man, that game caught me, and I played a little bit of it, but it reminded me of a Sooner Sacrifice, like when the monsters come out, like the men and they walk on you. It was type game like it was a game like that. When I get it, Eba, I'm gonna explain it to you and I'm gonna show it to you.
Yeah,
And
send you a sacrifice. Yeah.
our next show, I'll bring it up, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I know what game you're talking about, Ghost. But right now, it slipped my mind. I don't know if it's Overlord, but I'm telling you, it was like a gothic type game, bro. Like, and it was nice. It was dope. You got it. You got the game. That's the thing. Like,
I'm pretty sure I
it's
do.
not Dante. You got that game. Trust me, you got that game. I've
I'm
seen you
pretty
playing
sure.
that game before, bro. Like, I'm telling you, you got the game.
I'm pretty sure I do. I'm pretty sure Sega Man got it too.
Most likely, then Sega Man got it. I think Rain got it. I think most likely your guys got the game I'm talking about. But it's dope. Like when you really think about it, like when you see it, like a game like that, and when you look at like God of Wars and you look at certain type of games, you're like, yo, this game was dope and it was out.
If you like the setting of a game, you're really gonna appreciate it way more.
Oh,
That's one of the reasons why I had such a hard time. That's why I had such a hard time, and I was conflicted with Bloodborne on the PS4
yeah,
because Bloodborne, the setting is one of my favorite settings, which is the Renaissance era, right? And the game looked awesome as far as the setting, but I just don't like the gameplay style of those Dark Souls and Sekiro and Neo gameplay or Dark Souls, Demon Souls. I don't like the gameplay style of those games. I'm more into the real fast pace, fast action, action packed style, like like kind of like Metal Gear Solid Revengeance, like Ninja Gaiden, Ninja Blade. That's the style I like, or even Ninja, or even Devil May Cry, Dante's Inferno, God of War, the originals, right? That's the way
yeah.
I like my games to be, my action games. Not like that slow pace where you got to die and then level up and then come back again, and until you're not leveled up a certain level, or you don't have a certain weapon, you can't kill certain characters. Like, I don't like that structure. For me, I think it's dumb.
What's up,
But that's
Chris?
but that's me. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I know. I definitely know what you're saying. I definitely know what you're saying. But I mean, I hope they do a deal with Sega. It would be. I think it would be really, really nice, especially if it has to do with certain IPs, like bringing back a new Otagi, part one or two. Part three rather. That would
Hmm.
be amazing. But I think if they did do that partnership to release the console in Japan with the Sega name and moniker, I think it probably will help a little bit. Maybe not a lot, but it will help more than normally that they would with the sales of consoles over there. Especially if they have like exclusive games just to the console um, from Sega. I think that would definitely help pull sales in Japan. Because the console for the Xbox, never sold well in Japan. It never did. It just, for some odd reason, just never has.
And it's not that the consoles are not great consoles.
Right, right.
It's that they're not into the American brand.
Yeah, they just don't like the American brand. I keep telling people.
Well, you know how it is. The fanboy's gonna be like, no, 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 but we know what it is. As long as we know that
Mhm.
it's what it is, the proof is in the pudding. And American people do like the Japanese brand. That's why they buy PlayStation. It's
We
been like that
support
for a
them,
long
but they don't
time.
like supporting
They're
us.
not gonna
The only thing
support.
they like supporting is whatever's popular here, because they like to mimic our culture, like the Jordans or the Apple
Yeah.
phones. That they like, because it's like it's trendy. Oh yeah, it's trendy. It's trendy. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
that's what they like. That's what they like. You know. Let's just keep it 100.
Yeah, I know, I know. They like water guns and big titties with little girl voices. Hee hee. That's
Oh
funny for
boy.
them. I don't mean to go there, but it is what it is.
Uh. You're terrible.
Yeah, hey, it is what it is. That's the type of
You're
games that
terrible. You're
they
terrible.
like, my brother. Hey, it ain't my fault, man. They be playing with water guns and all that, laughing and the blow up dials. You know how it is. The trend over there. But but let's move on, bot.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got
What's up?
the
What's up?
next
What you
topic
got
we're
for
gonna
us?
jump on. I got you right now, my bro. Naughty Dog, they got busted, bro. Stealing music, man, from this female Ludi
Uh oh.
Kestner for the Last of
Uh
Us
oh.
music.
More controversy. Oh Jesus.
Controversy sells, huh?
Jesus Christ. That game just can't get away, huh?
Neil Druckmann, man, that's his name, right? Neil Druckmann.
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh
Neil
yeah.
Druckmann.
It's not really on. He kind of took it off of his Twitter or something like that. Like the girl answered, and that's not up there. When she answered him and he answered her, I think he took it off. So why would he take that off? Think about that.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
Oh, snap. Well, look.
supposedly.
I think it's based off the newly released. I think it was based off the newly released cinematic trailer. I think that's what it was. And one of the music's in there supposedly was created for the game, but they didn't get the final permission because I guess they didn't come to a final deal with the composer, and yet they still used it anyway. And I think that's where that whole situation is coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, yeah. I think that's where that whole situation is coming from. But um, that's very similar. This is not the first time, but that's very similar to what happened to them with the Last of Us One. I don't know if you remember. You remember that?
what The Last of Us one?
Mm-hmm.
I remember it dropped, but I don't.
Do you remember what happened
No,
with them?
no.
Oh well, what ended up happening was okay that um supposedly, right, according to what they showed, right, and what was being talked about, they had stole in one of the areas of the game, right. It was an area that was created for one of the Assassin's Creed games,
Mm,
right, from Ubisoft. And the guy had showed that, oh look, this is mine, showed the proof of what it was, and they had to, I think, pay a fine, and or they took it out the game. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was something to that extent. So it's kind of weird that this is the second time that it happens to them, like, you know using somebody else's, property and something for the game, right, and I guess doing it illegally and trying to get away with it, and then boom, get caught while doing it. Like, it's wild. It's wild.
yeah, I
I don't
just
know if you
find like
remember,
I
but you
just
could
feel
look it
like
up. You could
they
find
taking
it.
a lot of heat for this game, bro.
Yeah, I don't know if you can look it up on your computer while we're on it, but see if you can type up, Last of Us controversy artwork from Assassin's Creed, and you probably find it. I'm pretty sure,
Mm.
and it'll show up if I'm not mistaken.
Sega Man just said they mimic Xbox with the achievement system also.
Oh yeah, yeah, with the trophy system. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That
Can you
was
believe?
something unique with our system that it does, but now PlayStation got trophies.
Can you imagine? Can you believe, Sega Man, that Kamaya said that the reason why people are disconnected with Xbox in Japan is because of that system that they use for trophies. I mean, for achievements, because In Japan, the word trophy means the same thing to them as it does to us, but the word achievement doesn't.
What?
Yeah, he said that in his comment. In one of his recent comments, why he said that why Xbox doesn't do well in Japan, because people are more disconnected with it because of how it's the constructed, the way the features are, and the way the achievements are, and stuff like that. It's weird. So he put up. There was this whole article on that recently. Shit was funny as hell.
That's crazy.
That shit was funny. Just goes to show you how shallow they are.
Shallow ain't the word, man. That's greasy. So they don't. Oh wow. But yeah, man, like it's crazy, bro. When you really think about it, just like for Neil Druckmann and them, like this man, he thinks like he's God's gift to Earth, man. I hope that game really don't do too well, man. And it's
I
not.
don't. I don't know how
I'm
it's
not
gonna
hating on
do
that.
well.
I'm not hating on it. I'm not hating
Yeah,
on it.
yeah,
The
yeah.
game is
You're
gonna
talking
sell.
about because of you're talking about for principle because of all the
Yeah,
grimy shit they're
all the
doing.
grimy shit they doing and the way he's acting like, oh my shit gonna like basically, oh it's gonna sell, yeah, this and that, no matter what they did with the
Or
game,
don't
all the
listen.
foul
Don't
stuff they
listen.
put in the
Right.
game, yeah. And
I
they
know what you
lying and
mean.
they taking
I know
off
what you mean.
what I didn't
Yeah.
like was they took off the likes, the dislikes, they took off all of that. So it's like you lying to people that don't know about it. But
Right.
you
Right.
acting like your shit don't stink.
Right.
That's what I'm not
I
feeling.
think
Other
the
than that, like,
embargo. I think the embargo for the review of the game comes out tomorrow or in 2 days. I know it's very soon.
oh, that game's gonna get a high review. What PlayStation game don't?
Well, I mean, it might. I don't think it's gonna get reviewed high in the sense of like the way that they usually do, like praising it. I think it's gonna get bad accolades, but I think it's gonna still sell well. You know what I mean?
Oh no, that game is gonna sell regardless of what. It's hands down. That's PlayStation's big IP right there. So they're gonna do everything like they're doing now for that game. PlayStation just it is what it is. That game's gonna sell.
Right, right,
Let me,
right.
let me rephrase what I was just saying. I'm just saying for the things that I found out and I seen on the leaks and all of this. That's the reason why I said that. But other than that, I know the game is gonna sell. It's just he's too cocky. So I'm
Right,
hoping
right.
that like he gets a little taste of his own little medicine.
You're saying
But
that you hope it doesn't do as well as he thinks
yeah,
because
as he thinks,
of his arrogance
it's arrogance. Yeah,
and not caring
he don't
about
care.
what people are saying about what people are saying. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Look, his arrogance with this girl, taking things like that from the girl. He's
Right.
arrogant.
Well. Remember, they even they even body shamed in their own way the main one of the main characters or the one that plays Ellie's girlfriend because in real life, like I said, she has really big boobs, right? And she has a more feminine face. And in the game, they made her have less boobs, like she's flat chested almost, right? For example, right? What we call flat chested. And she and they made her look more like a man. You know what I mean? Like more manly features, I guess.
Well, you know how
And
it is.
that's a form of shaming, right? Why
Yep,
couldn't they let her just look the way that she looked like? There's nothing wrong with that.
it ain't nothing wrong with a woman. But you know how it is with this agenda stuff and things like that. They just want to push that so they could get the sales off. Remember, nothing that Sony was doing had the hype. Sony ain't have no hype. So basically, with this right now, they getting hype.
Well, they
Like you
haven't
look at
talked
Ghost of
about.
Tsushima, they
They
didn't
haven't been
talk
the
about
talk of the
nothing yet
town for a while. I know
for a
what you
while.
mean. Yeah.
Yep. Also, but all right, honest, you can give me your honest opinion on this. And for you out there, whoever's listening in today and tomorrow or whenever, leave me a comment. And right
Hmm.
now, for the people in the comment section, y'all let me know right now about this. All right, what y'all think about this Halo Infinite? Is this the Halo? See, for me, Halo Infinite isn't. We all know it's a first party game, but the developers of 343 Studios supposed to be this is supposed to be Master Chief's story, which is the third chapter of Reclaimed Saga. What do y'all think about that? Because this is a game that's supposed to be about Master Chief storyline now. So now there's no excuse on, oh, I didn't like Halo 5, because it was locked and it was jumping from story to story, and I wanted, basically, these are fanboys of Master Chief, you understand? Like, instead of enjoying another Halo game as
The
a
game for what it is, right?
for what it is, they gotta bash it. So now they get in their what they want. You understand? Master Chief. So now, what do you think about this, guys? Do you really think that this game is gonna be the console seller? Because if Microsoft is putting all the eggs in the basket on launching with this Halo for launch for the new Series X, do you think this game is gonna really sell that Series X? Do you think it's gonna break records probably at launch? What do you think, Bot?
I mean, I think that they're definitely going back to the Halo aesthetics of the original three more than 4 and 5. And I'm not really happy with that because I don't, out of all the Halos, I don't like 1, 2, 3 as much as the people do. I like 4 and 5 because I felt 4 and 5 evolved and moved the series forward in a good way. It made it more cinematic. They were more graphically intense, right, with better details, more beautiful environments. They made them linear, but still with that open world feel. They gave you the capability of the co-op. They added more dynamic by giving you the ability to control other squads. Like Locke's team, and then Microsoft. I mean, Master Chief's team. You know what I mean? And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I liked the change. Which is really odd to me because a lot of people were like, well, we wanted to evolve, we wanted to change. And then when they did it and they added new stuff, then it was a problem because it wasn't Master Chief all the time. So, um, I don't think they're going to take the chance of of upsetting the major fan base again,
Yeah,
right? But what I heard, there's a rumor of what's going on, or not a rumor, some details that came out that um, they're playing with the time travel aspect in the new one. And if that's true, or they're playing with the time travel aspect, that's how they can bring in the older look of Chief, and they can still bring in elements of what going on with Team Lock because it's a continuation of Part 5, supposedly straight continuation, and they can also bring in the elements of even the team from ODST or even Reach. A lot of different elements can be brought back if that's the case. And I think that'd be cool because that'd be different. That hasn't been done in Halo before. A time traveling element. If you can go back and forth through time with Master Chief, that'd be kind of dope. I think, in my opinion. But again, um, um, I really love, I really love the whole element of the direction they were going with it and making it more cinematic. Like I said, more graphically intense, more cinematic moments. The fact that he can run, it was just a more fun game to play than the originals. The originals I felt were very slow paced because he couldn't run. They weren't really cinematic. They felt very they felt very PC, like old school PC games that they felt kind of stiff and not as agile and quick pace like something like Doom, let's say, and not as fast as Doom, but something like Doom to give you an example, or as action heavy. And I think they achieved that with Part 4 and 5. So I do think they're going to keep elements from those games and go back to the look and style and aesthetics of maybe the originals with the new flavor, obviously, and the new graphical powers. of the console. But I think Halo's going to do well, man. I really think it's going to be a big seller, and I think people are yearning for Halo since the release of Part Four, because it's already going to be what 5 years now, something like that. Yeah, you're right, Rain. Absolutely, Rain. You're right. You played as the Arbiter, and nobody really complained. In fact, they thought it was great. Yeah, yeah. It kind of shows the hypocrisy, Rain. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right. Yeah,
that's
you're
what I was
right.
gonna tell you about.
You're right. And he's right. He's right. I forgot about that. And and that's yeah. See, that's that flag, man. That just makes you go. I don't know about that.
Things that make you go, right?
Yeah. It's like, well, they go. They love part two. I mean, I remember part two not getting as much love at first, but then they were like, "Oh my God, it's free, it's fantastic," and they loved it. So maybe that'll be the case with five after this generation is over, because again, this generation was the generation to hate everything Xbox.
Yep.
So maybe that was a part of the reason of it. But I don't know, man. It's just if you want things to get better, you have to accept change. But then you can't complain about change if you want things to get better. You see how that works?
It's the same thing like with God of War. When they changed it, look how much God of War sold.
Tina.
When they did the change bot over the shoulder, when they gave him an axe and so he could throw it like Thor's hammer, they changed it all up. Everybody went crazy for this God of War. So
But
change does not hurt all the time.
yeah,
Sometimes people take it to the extreme and want everything to be the same. Like who wants to run? I mean, who wants to walk in Halo still? I like this Halo to
right,
run around.
right. Well, you can run because it makes it
Faster.
quicker, faster pace. Yeah, yeah.
Faster paced game and you
Or
fight
at
it.
least, when you're not fighting and you got a lot of area to cover, you can move faster.
Yeah.
And I know they'll say, well, that's what you got the banshees for. That's what you got the vehicles for. But yeah, but doing it on foot is also satisfying. It's not just being on those cars. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or the vehicles rather.
Craig Simmons, Gaming TV, said, let's use the MCU, go back in time for Halo. Woo.
Yeah, yeah. It'd be nice to use the entire MCU, even what they tackled in the books. Yeah, I agree, Craig. I think it'd be dope. I think it'd be fucking dope. Imagine he could go back in time and save all the Spartans, like the guys from Reach and
That'd
all that shit. That'd be fire.
be sick. That'd be fire,
Mhm.
bro. Sega Man.
I
put
think
this
so.
up. He said, we all know why they didn't like Halo 5. Don't leave my brothers.
Yeah. You're right. That we've been saying that for a long time, bro. I was one of the first to have said that. I was like, look, it kind of feels to me
Yeah,
like the really hardcore Halo fans.
me too.
They just don't like it because it's a black dude.
It's a brother.
And to be honest, I like that dynamic because I like Locke. I thought Locke was cool as fuck. I really like his character and his squad. I like his squad too.
It was
And
dope.
I like and I like the idea of them having to go out,
And try to get
to
Chief.
to look for Chief
No,
because
they could've
the
died.
no, because the military thinks Chief went AWOL. You understand?
Yep.
The military thinks that Chief went AWOL. And he didn't go AWOL. He was looking for Cortana, and they didn't know this. So that's why he wasn't listening to none of the authorities and their orders that they were giving him to come back. He's like, I ain't listening to shit. He's like, I'm going to go get Cortana because he has a love attachment to her. He loves Cortana. That's what's been his only friend, so to speak. You understand?
Even though he had a lot of friends, but Cortana, I think
Well, he has a more intimate connection with her.
connection with her.
Mhm.
Other thing, nice for you to make it, my brother. Chris Simmons
Sure.
said, I'm gonna say this. He said, "Save Lock." Hashtag save Lock, bruh.
Yeah, yeah, man, I'm with you. Save Locke, or at least don't forget Locke for real, man. Because I like Locke a lot. I think he's cool. I wouldn't even mind if they did a game with him by himself with his squad. I think it would be dope.
Other thing said, Halo Reach. You didn't play as Chief.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yo, that's more. That's
That's
more
another
exposure.
that's
Exactly.
another one. That's another thing that makes you go,
Things to
Yeah.
make you go,
When you played as Arbiter in 2, it was okay. It was accepted. You played in Reach you didn't play as Halo as Chief. It was okay. Now all of a sudden, because it's a black dude, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
It's
get
not
it, bro.
Microsoft, and it's not Microsoft's fault because Microsoft and 343 and Bungie approved it in the story.
Oh man,
It's
they
the
gunning them
fan
down.
base. Oh,
Halo Wars 1, you didn't play as chief. Exposed. Expose them. Hashtag that shit.
there they go. There they go. There they go. Boom. Pew. Nuclears.
Stop it.
Nuclears. Yeah. The crew is funny, man.
Oh
I
my
like it. They be throwing out the shake real quick. I love it.
truth though, you know what? Speaking of that, man, you know the Mafia game that came out that was dope? This Mafia game to me was the best Mafia game. Because I played the other ones. Now let me tell you something. The other ones is great. But the guy is black and Dominican, bro. Guess what? That game ain't dope. I don't get it. But, like, what the fuck? They this Mafia game, they're sick, bro. Especially in the beginning when he go like that, yeah, you nigga. Boom! I said it with the ER. I mean, I'm just saying, but that's what it said in the game.
Yeah.
He shoots him like, yo, bro, that was ill. The whole game is ill, but they try to say, like, nah. Why? The characters half black, half Dominican?
The thing is that Mafia and this
I understand it's an Italian thing.
This is the new one, right? I think it was mainly because the game had a lot of bugs. It was very, very buggy.
Oh my god.
And very messed up. And they didn't really fix it. I think they were supposed to and tried, but it really didn't fix the situation. And that's why they didn't really like it. But oh my god.
Yeah, bro.
But I don't know. I think I don't know because I like the originals too, and I'm glad they're remaking the original one because it's old, and it needs to be. It'd be nice to revisit it with the new style graphics. It looks nice. I don't know if you saw the pictures. It looks dope.
Yeah.
But I think that's why they didn't like it. In that case, I can understand.
To me, I'm being honest. That's just my honest opinion. I could be wrong, but for some reason, whenever it's a dark-skinned man and a Latin man,
well, Prototype 1 and 2. I love Prototype 2 better than 1, and Prototype 2 is a black dude.
Mm-hmm.
The main character, he's black.
Which one sold more?
That's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question. Look it up.
I don't mean to say it. I don't mean to say it like that. Other thing, we're gonna skip that. Other thing, for Spawn Ops, you didn't play as Chief.
Oh,
also, other thing for Spawn Assault, you didn't
play as Chief.
God damn. Expose them. If I had that part right there, I would have put that up.
Yeah, I like those mobile ones too. They were fun, man. They were real fun. They kind of play like Diablo.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Yo, but to honest truth, I think Halo Infinite is gonna sell very well. I think it's gonna do good. I just hope it sells to these PS4 standards and the media and all that, because it might get tear down. Because you remember, it's the media that dictates everything, and the fanboys with it.
I definitely think Halo 5 or 6 rather, Infinite, is going to help sales because almost every Halo game, if you look back, when it came out, if it was a launch game or whether it came out that year, that console for Xbox did well and the game sold well. Even with 5 sold like, I think it was what day one was $400 million. It took in. You know what I mean? That's a lot of bread.
Halo 5?
Halo 5, yeah.
Halo 5 Guardian smashed records was the biggest Halo launch in history.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It also had sold 5 million copies within 3 months after its release published, May 2nd, 2017.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So, this coming out with the X, and then let's say it looked retarded nice because of the power of the X. Oh my God!
And it had, and to top it off, they said the Halo 5 was trash and all that, but it did have the series' highest number of active players since Halo 3. So I don't get it.
Right.
And clown Halo. I just don't get it.
Well, I like that they incorporated real life actors from the real world into the Halo world that was made out of fictitious characters, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that they did that. It's one of the few games that did that, And I like that.
I'll just put this up though. He said Halo 5 450 plus million, beating Halo 3 by 100 plus million.
Right? And in day one, right? Other thing? Day one, I think it was.
Here, other Zinc, if you're out there, he
I think it was day one.
asked
Yeah, I
you
think it was day one.
a question.
I just don't remember, but since you can check it out.
You know how it is with these fanboys, though. Halo ain't sell. None of the Xbox games really sell like that.
Oh yeah. I forgot. They didn't sell. Oh my God.
Just like I just got to refresh it. I'm gonna go back to facts right here, man. Gears of War was created by Cliffy B. The franchise Gears of War on the 360 is one of the most played games as well as popular on Xbox Live. This is for Gears. Microsoft said that Gears of War series has sold over 22 million units and earned over $1 billion. Gears of War 1 sold 2 million copies on its release weekend. It also sold within 2 months of release, had sold 4 million copies. Gears of War 2 sold over 5 million units worldwide, bringing the franchise total to 11 million units sold. Also, Gears of War 3 now. These are facts. Gears of War 3 sold over 3 million copies and was the second best-selling game in the United States, period. Hands down. Phil Spencer has said that Gears of War 5 sold better than Gears of War 4. And you got to understand, Game Pass was out.
And it's still so well. Yeah.
And it's so well. So
No.
that should tell you something. Like, Xbox games sell is that they get the hate. They get hate.
Well, the Xbox fans, they speak with their support and wallet when it comes to the exclusives. You know what I mean? Like Xbox fans buy the AAAs. They don't keen to buy more like the smaller titles, but the AAAs, they buy them shits ASAP. You know what I mean? That's how I've seen it. The movement,
What? The movement of what? Bye. I'm sorry.
Why with Xbox gamers, I've noticed that they'll buy more, like The Witcher, like Cyberpunk is gonna do well on Xbox. Like Xbox gamers buy like the AAA stuff, like the bigger budget games, but the smaller budget games is what I don't think is what they buy as much. Look at Sea of Thieves. That shit about to have 15 million people strong on that shit still. And I know it's not 15 million people on Game Pass.
Yeah, Game Pass.
You know what I'm saying? I know it's not that.
I mean, it's
You know what I mean?
Game Pass is something lovely.
Yeah, so Game Pass
It's something that's
something
dope. Yeah, but yeah, you was talking about Gears. Am I right?
Yeah, you were saying the numbers for Gears.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the numbers.
Does it say how much Gears 5, 4 sold or 4?
No, I think if I'm not mistaken, 4. I think I forgot what
Gears 4.
Gears 4. I gotta look that up. But I know Gears 5. He said it sold better than Gears 4. So I don't.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm asking because if Gears 4, let's say, sold 6 million, let's say, right? And he said Gears 5 sold more, that probably mean it either sold 6.5 or 6 or 7 million, maybe 8. You know what I mean? So, which is still a phenomenal number. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Especially the fact that it's on Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? That's fantastic.
Now we got Other Zinc. He's answering you, but he said Gears 5 sold 3 million the weekend before launch because the ultimate pre-orders played before launch.
Right. I know that. I'm talking about Gears. I'm talking about Gears 4, Zinc. Do you know what it sold? Of the numbers ever came out for 4? I don't think you have. I don't remember.
I know Gears 4 was dope. I liked the Gears 4. I had a good time playing that one.
Which one, Gears 4?
Yeah, Gears 4. In the background, the gameplay that y'all see that I cooked up for y'all, that's Gears 5. Ooh. Put my boots up. I ain't gonna lie, I've been getting shot up. But I said I gotta give my subscribers out there for the show a good shootout. I haven't played Gears in a while. I was getting smoked, my dude. And I was dropping them, but I was getting hit up by.
You're getting smoked up?
What? I'm getting people, but they smoking me too, boy. Pew pew. You see the blood in the thing.
That's what you get, man. That's what you get for being fresh. There you go.
Cari Freco, nigga, they drop. I'm catching them though.
That's what you get for being fresh. There you go.
He just rolled and shot me, bro. That's crazy. I'm lancering him. He just hit me with that shotgun, that motherfucker.
That motherfucker. You is stupid.
Adam Seller, Rain G said Microsoft needs Adam Seller to host Inside Xbox.
Oh, Adam Sessler. Yeah. I know what he's talking about. Yeah, I know what he's talking about. Adam Sessler was the man, bro. Really like Adam Sessler a lot. I don't know what's the situation nowadays, but definitely a cool cat, man. Cool cat. He was always fair too, man. I loved the way he did his thing. He was always fair when it came to all the games and consoles and shit and platforms. That man is him and Morgan Webb. His co-host, the girl Morgan Webb. They really made it. They were really made it something to look forward to every day on G4 at 7 o'clock every day with X Play, or was it 7:30? And then they had G4 at 7:30, something like that. With the other dude, what's his name? The other white boy. I forget his freaking name. He was fucking cool as hell too. They did that other show. They were more pony centric, but they were funny though.
Right now, I think answered you. He said, I don't know the final Gears 4 numbers yet. It was the best selling Gears before Gears 5.
Right, Zink. That's what I'm saying. And Phil already confirmed, as we all know, that 5 sold even better than 4, being on Game Pass, because I think 4 wasn't on Game Pass. It came on Game Pass after the fact. 5 actually launched day and date, right?
What?
Gears 5 launched day and date on Game Pass. Gears 4 came on Game Pass afterwards.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. Yep. That's what I'm saying, and it's still so better than it's so better than 4. So that's saying a lot,
I got 2 more topics to talk about, and then we could call it a night.
Yeah, for sure. Right. I mean, it's up to you, puppy.
I have
Sega Man just said something.
Oh, Sega Man,
what he said.
Sega Man 101 said, did you know that there is still people playing Gears of War 3 online horde mode still today? I just played on my 360 a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
That game.
Yeah, he's right. He is 100% right. Yep.
I just want to let people know, too.
Isn't that crazy?
Is very, very known in the Latin culture.
Yeah. And the Mexicans, they fucking love Gears of War. What?
And all that. They
love Gears of War, bro.
And what I love about Gears, man, is when you shoot somebody with one of these evil dudes, they be like, soft. They blow you away with that shotgun. For your Gears people out there, you know what I'm talking about. But also, man, I just want to say, man, did you see that bot that on top of the Steam list, Sea of Thieves 1?
See, you came today to throw shade at everybody, didn't you?
It's been a while, my brother. I'm saying, I don't know. The game sucks, but that's what they say. It sucks.
Yeah, well,
but it's on Steam.
The PC community don't want Xbox, but they want their game. They definitely want our games.
Yes, no,
right? Which I don't understand. If a game was exclusive to a console, that gives you a reason to buy it. Why does it matter if you played it on a console or on your PC? Okay, you could play it with better performance, but you're still gonna enjoy it on console because it's optimized for the console. It's not like it's gonna run like shit.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you.
I don't know.
Fuck me out, and you was the one telling me. I'm not really into Sea of Thieves like that. But when they say Sea of Thieves is trash and it's dead and it's gone, that's a fucking lie. Like
I told you, it may not be for you or me that as much, but I bet you if me and you played it together, we'll have a fucking good time. It's fun because the game is fun. That's what people don't understand. The game is fucking fun.
What's my boy's name? I played Cyberwolf. We got jumped by PC dudes on boat.
you gotta play with people who know how to play too. That's another thing. Plus, the game has so much more content now than what it did before. Oh my god!
Cyberwolf cursed up a storm. He was like, "Come on, Ghost. We on a boat. We flying." And I look. I see boats. We fight regular dudes. We did good. We got treasure or whatever it was. But these PC dudes was hunting us down fast, bro. They got on a boat. The dude was on a boat.
They were mad.
Oh, he was hiding behind the chair, whatever it was. Oh, we was fighting him, and every time they kill you, you die. You waiting for a couple. You wait a couple of minutes or seconds, and it's like when you coming back to your spirit or whatever. You come
Yeah.
inside. He was waiting there again, like ping, ping, ping. He was rocking us, son. They sunk our boat and everything. They took everything. Just put it that way.
Man, he was mad.
They sodomized the whole crew, son. We was out.
Wow.
They violated. That's why he was like, I hate playing with PC dudes. They need to stop this. And I wish he was on here because he knows what I'm talking about.
Right, right, right. Well, because they use mods, they cheat all the time.
Yeah, they was cheating, bro. Trust me. It was cheating, man. That's why I was like, you know what? Kind of made me not want to play, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't fun. These dudes was OD.
Yeah, but you could. I think you could deactivate that now. You don't have to play with it no more.
Uh,
I think they took that off, or that option actually.
but, you know, for
Like
people,
they did with,
say it was
with
dog
Gears.
shit, but it's not really dog shit.
No,
Because PC
it-
not playing that, bro. It's number one on their top 10 list, I think.
yeah, yeah. A lot of people stream it too.
Oh, yeah. So
lot
ain't
of
that an
people-
L for those people talking trash? I don't per se. I'm not really into that game, but you are. Wouldn't you just say like this L's out there for a lot of people hating on it?
Well, I mean, anybody that said the game was trash, and then you could see that people are playing it, that's an automatic L, no matter what.
That's what I'm saying. It's got more
You
people
know,
enjoying that game than these other games.
it's just an automatic L. It is what it is. But would they admit to that? Probably not. More than likely, they won't. So.
I think they're
But
like,
it's good to see that, though. It's good to see the engagement for the sake of the game, for the sake of people thinking that it wasn't going to do well. But remember, they also added a lot of what you call that? They added a lot of story modes too in the game. In the actual game, there's a lot of story mode now too. So
oh yeah, I was gonna tell you they do got a lot of. They added a whole lot of stuff to that game.
so
Game modes, all that. So it's something different from when it first launched. You understand?
yeah, it just gotten better and better. Yeah, for
How it's
sure,
how
for
it's
sure.
supposed to be. But also, I got my other topic I want to bring up, man. I was
Mhm.
actually gonna play a little bit on Steam and all that, and Death Stranding's on its way, bro.
Where?
On Steam. I was
Oh, it's already there.
game because I was looking for PC games to play, you know, on my PC. So I'm actually looking at a game called ISO or something like that. See, I was trying to get these dinosaur games, you know, to enjoy and rock out and play. And
Mhm.
I seen Death Stranding on Steam getting ready to be there. So, dang, man. PlayStation game,
Mhm.
PC. I guess they lose another exclusive. Wow.
It's just funny because they don't
I just like
want to see they don't want to see the games on Xbox, but they don't mind it be on PC, and when it's on PC, it doesn't mean they lost an exclusive. But when it's on Xbox, that means Xbox has no exclusives. That's just so freaking hysterical.
corny. They lost. Death Stranding is coming up.
Yeah, it's funny.
Well, we was on Steam, right? And Death Stranding popped up. They said it was coming soon. It was, right?
Yeah. Huh?
July. Oh, so my wife just said in July. It should be supposed to be coming up in July. We was looking
Oh, is it? Damn, that soon?
my brother. I'm telling you on
Oh.
Steam. Now, if God of War came there, they had The Last of Us there. Death Stranding should be coming.
Bloodborne's coming too. Even though Bloodborne, you can still play it on PC already because
Dang,
it was on PSN.
what did they have? Sony ain't got nothing to do with PC. I know Xbox do it, but they don't got
Wow. Stop it, Ghost. Stop it.
it is what it is. That's why I
Stop
say
throwing
stop.
this shade. Stop it.
They need to stop. Enjoy your games. I mean, enjoy your PC games. Okay?
Well, enjoy the console games because a lot of PC extremists, not all, but a lot of them, they swear that the consoles are the like we're the ones that get in their way. We're the cancer,
No,
and yet without console gaming and console support, they wouldn't even get half the shit they get. They just get a lot of independent stuff, because it's independent. Nobody owns them. They're self-published. Then so it's just funny. That's funny to me anyway.
Well, I tell you, but
But that's interesting. That's interesting to know, bro.
yeah, bro. I'm telling you, bro. And unless you know this, but that the Xbox is the best box, man. We've been saying it for
Eh,
years. They might try to downplay us, but I can't wait for this generation. And before we go, man, supposedly the rumor is June 11th, PlayStation's supposed to have their gaming event.
oh yeah? When
Supposed
did you hear that?
There's a troll on there, on Twitter, and he got PlayStation stuff up. It might be true, but I'm happy. I hope they do because I want to see what the PlayStation has to offer. I'm tired of looking at God 4, and I'm tired of there's no more. I'm tired of looking at a logo that I think they changed twice, and I'm definitely tired of looking at that marshmallow controller, that trash ass
It
they have.
looked like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man controller. Yeah, I get what you
Like one of them Tata Quieto whack shits. Like they need to go somewhere with that. But anyway, thank you guys for rocking out with me and Hebot. I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Absolutely.
It's about that time. I gotta get ready to go to bed. You know,
Yeah, we came. Well, I apologize. That was from my fault. That we kind of came in late because, like I said, I've been busy and I know and I have a lot of things going on. You know how it is.
yo, definitely, man. And before I go by, I just want to say, man, God bless my brother, my boxing brother, when I used to box in the Gladiator Gym and the amateurs, when I fought the JOs, that means the JOs mean the Junior Olympics. When I fought the Junior Metros, I fought boxing shows. My brother, he was black, but I call him my brother, James. My brother, James
Hmm.
Miller, God bless your soul. He died in a bike accident.
Oh, okay. Yeah. God bless, man. Sorry for the
A
loss.
day
Yeah.
ago. I
A
was
day
with my
ago.
mother
Oh,
talking
yeah.
a day or two ago. I was talking to my brother. He was like, "Yo, guess who died? James." And I was in my job, and me and him was sick because we grew up. He was like what, 13, 12 years old, and I grew up with.
Wow.
Yeah, we was young, all boxing together and going to these tournaments and Ming Malin mother effers, meaning we was breaking dudes. Beep, pop, beep, beep. He was one of the best amateur fighters coming out of New York when I was growing up, and I was one of them.
Right.
Me and my brother was one of them too because we was winning tournaments and they was winning tournaments, as well as some of the dudes that fought. My friends that fought on TV and got titles. So I was in the tournaments with them, winning the same tournaments as them. So we was growing up as being really good fighters, and he was one of the ones that I embraced as like family, and he died, man. And I was talking the other day, yo, remember he used to be going like that to the Brooklyn dudes?
Wow.
Yo, we used to have fun, like, yo, bro, but God bless your soul, my brother, you would be missed. And you always would be a
Yeah, for
part.
sure. May he rest in peace, man. For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. May you rest in peace.
Wow.
I love you, my brother.
That's,
Yeah,
yeah, man.
my
For
Lord.
sure.
My brother, bro. Six something. 6'6" or 6'4", 6'2".
He was young, I bet, too, huh?
Yeah, I'm 37. He must have been like what, 35? Around
Oh, he
there.
was younger than you?
Yeah, he was a little younger. That's why I say he was like a little brother to me, but tall. He got tall. That boy was tall, but he had them
Yeah, he
jab,
was big. Yeah,
quick,
like Spartan. Like Spartan.
peep, bap, slim. He was cut up.
Like,
It was my
yeah,
dude, bro. He had the heart of a lion, boy.
like Spartan. Spartan was fucking big, too.
And we will always show love to each other, bro. And that was my boxing bro, man. And I would like to say, man, thank you guys for rocking out with us, man. And me and Hebot really appreciate it. Don't forget to share this video, guys.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
God
Hope
bless
you
you
have
all.
fun. Not a lot of interesting topics, but topics nonetheless.
Yep,
Try to make it as best as we can.
most definitely, man.
And share it with someone you think might like it.
And tell them ponies, man, we out to get you if you're coming out of here with them fake remasters, bro. Because
All that traga leche stuff.
that traga leche stuff ain't rocking this generation. So enjoy your games for your PS4. Because when it comes to the
Right.
PS5, we want to see nothing but new games. We ain't talking about no PS4 games, man. You better come up
We're
with a PS5 game list. So
oh.
peace out, yo. It's your boy
Peace.
Most. You already know, you heard.